continues to run away with his king. But the truth is, it's not really that safe over here, again, because of these start square issues. He plays king to a2. Now I try and take advantage of that with queen to d6. I have, again, a pretty straightforward threat. Bishop to e7, queen comes into a3, and try and get in white's king's face right there. He makes a logical defensive moves. Now the knight can come to c2 if he needs to. Prop my rook over to e8. So bear in mind, we're both moving a little bit quicker right now because the simul is getting a little bit later. Some games are finishing. So we have to move a little bit quickly. But although he was moving at about the same pace throughout, I had to move a little bit quickly at this point. Now I had an opportunity to do a pretty cool move. Fabiano just made a mistake in the last move. If you are watching a video, you can pause it right now and try and find the tactic. If you guys have any ideas in class, you can raise your hand. What can I do right now? Why was e4 such a mistake for white? Vedanta?
You can take en passant e3.
Okay, you can take en passant e3. And if he takes my queen?
And then you take f2.
Then I take f2. And can white stop that pawn from queening? What if we protect the knight?
How?
So we bring the rook back.
Then you promote the queen.
You just promote, and if we guard this square with like queen to d3 or queen to f4,
You take the knight.
you take the knight, right? So he can't stop either one of these. Good, and that is exactly what I could do. He does not have to take the queen, and he did not. That would be better for me. Now just a quick note, it's not an automatic win right away, right? Even if he moves the knight and I get a queen somewhere, it's still a knight to a bishop to a knight, queen to a queen, rook to rook, but my queen is threatening checkmate in one move, so it's actually a lot more serious than just a fancy little trade where then I get a queen back, right? Okay, so he cannot do that. Oops, sorry, this is here, this is here, that's like here, the queen was here, right? So he did not do that, so what can he do instead? If he doesn't take the queen, what does he have to do? We're still threatening to take here, we're still threatening to do stuff, yeah.
You can take the pawn.
Yeah, you can take the pawn, so that's what he did. And now, I was very excited at this point. Fabiano made a mistake, even until he actually came back and saw the position, you know, and I saw his, on his face it register, like he kind of smiled, like, whoops, and like even until he smiled, I was still thinking, I'm probably missing something, he's just gonna come back. But I was getting excited, like waiting, like I think I'm like gonna win now, or at the very least draw. He takes back here, and I was pretty excited. And again, I have to play quickly, and so I actually made a mistake right now. I calculated out that this was at least a draw for me, and I might win. And while it did end up working out, I had a much better move than that. Just take a moment right now. You can pause the video. If you guys have an idea, what should I have done instead of taking? I saw one good move, but I should have taken a little bit longer to find a better move. What's the better move besides queen takes queen?
Maybe e5, queen e5.
Queen to e5. Why do you want to play queen to e5?
Because maybe next move we can go b2.
Queen b2 checkmate, or where else? If he guards, let's say rook c2 or queen c2.
You can.
Want to help him out? Want to help him out?
Queen a1.
Queen a1, right. So we're threatening b2 and queen a1 checkmate. So it's actually not so easy to stop, right? There's a lot of ways to stop one of them. It's a pretty annoying threat that would actually just win right away. I didn't do that. I took here. Let's look at the end of the game right now. I do get my pawn back at least. I have a bishop to a knight. I have a better king, and I have better pawns. So I knew I wasn't going to lose this game at this point. I wasn't sure if I could win or not yet. I kind of thought against most people I would be expecting to win right now. I wasn't so sure here. I thought I probably was supposed to win, but you're playing somebody really good, you get a little intimidated sometimes. But this seemed pretty hard to mess up at this point, I think. He goes here. Now instead of taking back right away, I make an intermediate check. If I take back right away, his knight might be able to come back, and then when I pin him, his rook can come back. and I don't win the knight. By making an intermediate check, he doesn't want to go here because then I have discovery checks. Now I go here, and he has no option to move the knight and bring the rook back. And so he is just going to lose this knight. And if he didn't do this, I would likely be able to just win this pawn and then push the pawn. So we'll go out to just the last few moves. Plays d4. Taking would be fine. This is a little bit more exact, I guess. Now, just cut off the king. This here. And just a few more moves. Going here, basically just with the idea of getting his last pawn. We go here. If he trades rooks, it's an easy win. And here, I'm just going to win this pawn, then I can always give up the bishop for the pawn if I need to. And I have two connected passed pawns. And at this point, Fabiano resigned. So, the lessons that I would want you guys to remember. Number one, everybody blunders. So even if you are playing somebody, no matter who he is, if he's the highest person in the world, you can win. I played a couple different simuls. I was on different sides of the simul at the International Chess Academy camp last summer. It was just a couple months after I beat Fabiano. I think I had just been bragging about it earlier that day. Then I was giving a simul in the camp, and I still made it a 600. So my spread for rating-wise, in terms of how I've done in simuls in 1 year, is pretty wide, from 2,800 win to a 600 draw. But that was another position where I had already won in my head, so I stopped paying attention. I thought, this is just, some 600, he's just blundering, I'm not looking at what he's doing. And he made a very smart tactic at the end where he, was in a stalemate position with a rook left, and he sacrificed the rook in a way where I had to take it, and that was a game. So, no matter who you're playing, they blunder. It's a philosophy that I take to heart. If I get in a worse position, I sometimes even give myself a little pep talk. He's going to blunder later, you just have to catch it. If you catch it, you win. That said, it's better to not start off the game down a pawn in a worse position, right? You have to be fighting back the whole way. But, sometimes dynamic, practical chances are important, even if it's not objectively the best move according to a computer. Yes?
What's your rating?
My rating is 2170 FIDE. So Fabiano was 2,800 at the time, a little over 600 points lower. Moshe, the 600 who I drew, is unrated FIDE, but if we go by his USCF, how much higher am I than him? Bigger than the spread with Fabiano. Okay, thank you everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. This was my win against the number 2 in the world, Fabiano Caruana. Yes, right.
How is he the number 2?
Well, so people could say it by different ways. Sometimes people go by rating lists. I think right after somebody wins the candidates tournament and they're the challenger that's facing the current world champion, that's the number 2 in the world, because if he wins that match, he'll be number 1. He just beat the top elite players in the world in a grueling candidates match, which was a 14-round round robin. So I think he's got the strongest claim, and if he wins in November, I get to say that I beat the number 1 world champion, best player in the world, from a losing position. Yes?
What's a round robin?